As I mentioned in the last lecture on node.js and npm, we'll be using the npm install command a handful of times, and as you can see there in the how to install section, this will be one of those times where we use it. We'll go ahead and get out of their site here and switch on over to PowerShell to run that command. So now that PowerShell is loaded up, we'll go ahead and switch on over to our demo directory. So we can see that we only have our test file in here from earlier, so we'll go ahead and make a new directory called Arduino. And then we'll go ahead and cd into that one. Okay, and now we'll go ahead and make a subdirectory within here to put all of our Cylon.js demos in. And we'll go ahead and change into that directory. Bingo bango. Now we'll go ahead and run that npm install command that we saw on the website, and this will install the Cylon and Cylon Fermata modules, as well as their dependent modules and any of their dependent modules, as we'll see here soon. And this takes just a minute to run. And there we go. Now you can see the two modules that we selected in the install command, but you also see a handful of other ones as well, and those are the dependent modules I was talking about earlier, and some of those had dependent modules and so on and so forth. So that's one of the neat things about npm install, is that with package files, you can specify dependencies that your modules are dependent on and so on and so forth. So whenever the user does the npm install on the initial modules, everything just resolves properly, and then everything is there as expected. Okay, if we do an ls here, we can see that a node modules folder got created, and I'll take you to the file system here to show you exactly what's in that. Quick note too is that earlier I mentioned that npm install takes a -g option. Now it's not required, but you can use it to put these modules in a global space rather than in this local folder here. I didn't specify because I just need Cylon to be local to this demo folder. As I'm sure you've already seen, you can see our two Cylon folders here that we just installed. Now if you go into it, you can actually get to the source behind it. Yes, it is an open source project, so you can get online and find it as well. But I just want to let you know that these files are installed locally, so if you're curious as to how things are implemented, you can actually browse through the files here and check things out. We'll go ahead and open up the digital pin file here and see what that's all about. Now we won't necessarily be using this file directly in our code, but it will be used indirectly through some of the other modules that we will be accessing. Maybe one of the reasons you want to get into these files like this is not only to see how they were implemented, but maybe you notice that something's not functioning quite right, so you want to get in here, fix a bug, and then open up a pull request on GitHub to have the original developers then merge your changes into the base package so that the next time it's downloaded, it's all ready to go. Now we'll quickly explore the Cylon Fermata module, as I want to show you that there's another node modules folder here, which is where those dependencies were loaded that we saw just a bit ago. And then within those, they have node module folders that include their dependencies and so on and so forth. I also wanted to point out that the Cylon Fermata module comes with a handful of examples that you can browse through, and this is code that you would actually use in an application to target the Arduino. So for example, yes, pun intended, we'll go into the motor folder here and check out the motor example that they have. Now you can actually find this example on their website as well as a lot of those other ones as well if you look at some of the API documentation that's on there. This just gives you quick access and a way to quickly copy code or just include it in an application if you'd like to do so.